Hey everyone, and welcome to Chef AJ Live. I'm your host, Chef AJ, with my co-host Bailey here for the final day of our week of Iron Chef competitions. And we have a real treat for you because this is the first time we were able to get both contestants in the same location. So they are in front of a live studio audience as well. So we can actually maybe declare a winner and they're going to get to taste it. And we have some extraordinary competitors. From St. Louis, we have the St. Louis Veggie Girl, or St. Louis Veggie Girl, Caryn Dugan, and she is competing against Dr. Jim Loomis. You might know him from the Barnard Medical Center, a wonderful plant-based diet doctor, for the final SmackDown. Please welcome them both to the show. It's so great to see you guys.
Hi, Chef AJ. Thanks for having us.
Yeah, this is going to be great.
I am so excited because you're a doctor and you're going to cook.
Well, yeah, I like to cook. That is true. That is true. I'm certainly not a chef in Caryn's category, but I do. I can hold my own.
He can. He's actually a very good intuitive cook, so he does know what he's doing in the kitchen.
That is great. The boxes you have in front of you are beautiful.
Aren't they great? Look at these. We have two incredible assistants here at the Center for Plant-Based Living, which, by the way, is the nation's first and still only plant-based nutrition and culinary education center. That's where we're broadcasting from today. And Anne did these for us. And I mean, I'm still just kind of blown away. They're so beautiful. They're going to be on display after our competition.
They are beautiful. Well, before we open the boxes, would you guys like to talk a little bit about what your culinary point of view is? Because we've had some raw chefs on this week. We've had some SOS free chefs. So what makes you guys unique?
You go ahead.
Well, my approach is I try to make cooking so I teach plant-based cooking classes whenever I come to St. Louis. In fact, Caryn and I both taught at a culinary school here in St. Louis way back when, before I moved to Washington, D.C. And then when I came back and we started teaching classes together. And I try to make food accessible to patients, to teach them that you can make healthy, tasty food that doesn't take a lot of, you don't have to go to culinary school, and you can use things that you've heard of. It's typically SOS for the most part, maybe a little salt, finishing salt, but I don't use oil, and I don't really use any processed foods. It's just helping people understand this. We overthink cooking sometimes.
Yeah.
And so that's how I think about this and what the message I try to convey in my classes.
Yeah. I think we're probably same-ish. I don't use any oil either. I will use salt during the cooking process. Any kind of sweetener is typically going to be maple syrup or dates. But yeah, I mean, whole food, plant-based typically. I'm friends with a lot of chefs around town who've taught me over the years, less is more. So I started STL Veg Girl in 2011. This is our 10th anniversary.
It's an anniversary right here. I got the shirt on. 10th anniversary.
And
second anniversary.
And it's also the second anniversary of the Center for Plant-Based Living. So it's a big week here. But yeah, I less is more. And my mission, actually, kind of my motto, is a plant on every plate. So sure, I want to help people adopt a plant-based diet, but sometimes we just have to tiptoe into it by adding plants to every plate slowly.
Wow, I love that. A plant on every plate. People are commenting, like Brittany Drudy, how gorgeous those boxes are. Maybe you guys could sell them sometime.
Oh, there we go. Shaking her head. No.
Well, so what's going to happen? Actually, you know what? I don't have to do a split screen. You guys are in the same place.
Right. So will you stay on with us the whole time?
I'll stay on the whole time, but I might take myself off screen just so that, they can always see what's going on. You'll still hear my voice, of course. And are you guys ready to open the boxes?
Yes.
Yes.
Go ahead.
Okay.
Interesting.
Yes.
So kale.
Okay.
And we have pineapple.
And chickpeas.
Yoo-hoo!
Right.
All right.
You guys think you can work with those?
Oh yeah.
I don't think we have a choice. Okay, so can we go over the rules?
Yeah, the rules are you have to use all three ingredients. And and when I say in a meaningful way, you can't just take a slice of pineapple and say, oh, it's pineapple. So it's got to be in the recipe. And you can make one recipe or two. It doesn't matter, as long as all three things get used.
Okay.
And you can use anything in your pantry, anything at all.
Okay. Oh, I'm sweating.
You're the first people to get kale so far.
Yeah. All right. So.
Okay, and you tell us, like, do we just go like right
You
now?
just go and talk a little bit though, don't try not to be too silent, talk about what you're thinking,
Okay.
what's going on in your head. Like, I wish it was eggplant or.
That's so funny. Caryn hates eggplant, and I almost sent you an email to put eggplant in here because every time I send her an eggplant recipe, I get the vomit emoji back, right?
It's
So
gross. It's gross. So I'm glad you didn't do that, AJ. A+.
Well,
Okay.
somebody at some point in this history of this channel is going to have to get eggplant, but it's not you.
That's fine, as long as it's not me. Okay, I feel like there needs to be like music going. All right,
ready?
go. Yeah,
All
go.
right.
Go. Can you get out of my way?
Yeah.
All right. I'm using my electric can opener because I hate can openers. I always mess them up. I know that sounds weird, but I cannot work a can opener. So that's why my mom got me that.
All
right.
Burgers in the freezer, right?
I don't know where the garlic is.
Yeah, I see how this is going to play.
So guys that are watching at home and those of you that are watching in Caryn's place, what would you guys make if you were getting these ingredients? I know what I would do, but I'm not going to say it until they're into their recipe. I just had an idea.
Okay, so the trash is right here.
Okay.
By the way.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm still kind of thinking about it. I'm just processing or just draining the chickpeas and washing them off.
All right. So I'm going to. Is this all I need to do here, or do I need to do something else to turn it on?
Well, you need to have a
Hot on it.
Yeah.
Gotcha. All right.
Oh, Dina made a great suggestion. Yep.
what was that?
Well, I can't tell you just yet because I don't want to influence you. And then there's a couple of ways to go. And think of it, even though not everybody has a fresh pineapple, I always have a can of pineapple on my shelf. I always have a can of chickpeas, and I almost always have kale. So I tried to pick things that most people are familiar with.
Yeah. Oh my gosh. Okay, all right. Chickpeas, kale, and pineapple. All right.
I'm gonna cut my onion here.
Oh my gosh. Like I'm having a
Yeah,
How about
Dr. Loomis is doing just what I do. When I don't know what to do, I just start with an onion.
Just
Yeah.
try to start chopping the onion, right?
all right. So
And then it comes to me eventually.
I'm taking this.
That's what I say. When in doubt, saute an onion.
All right, so I'm just gonna cut up this pineapple because it needs to be cut up. This gives me a moment to think. Let's be real. It is so nice and fresh. So this is your last one, AJ, huh?
Is that my last one ever? It's my last one Iron Chef week because unfortunately tomorrow the chef that was scheduled had a medical issue. And so we have a doctor coming on tomorrow, but we are doing Iron Chefs from time to time throughout the year. Like we have one next week with 2 chefs. We have one on Labor Day with Chef Bravo versus Chef Colin. So these are just so fun because people get so inspired by the fact that you can just have simple ingredients and make delicious. Because I'm not ever trying to trick people with weird ingredients.
I'm gonna try to do this in 7 ingredients or less, so I can add it to one of my
Very quick shows,
one
eh?
of my plant-based quick shows. Yeah. So I have this weekly show on Tuesdays on YouTube, and it's called the Plant-Based Quick Cooking Show, where I make something 7 ingredients or less.
I love it. I love that concept. That's fun.
It helps people tiptoe into this,
I think
All
it's-
right. So
I'm gonna attack the garlic here. You need garlic?
yeah, I mean, yes.
Here, there's a piece for you.
I think what I'm going to do is make. Don't copy.
I'm just gonna get some of that too. we're gonna make, we're thinking the same thing.
No, we're not.
We might be.
We're not.
Okay.
All right, so I'm getting out the food processor because I'm going to need it now. Now I'm going. Now I'm firing.
This girl is on fire.
That's right, baby.
And you guys, Dr. Jim Loomis has not been on the show solo yet, but he's coming up next month and he's going to talk all about his wonderful work as a plant-based doctor. He's done with the film Game
Yeah.
Change
Oh, yeah.
and at the Barnard Medical Center. And Dr. Barnard is on next Saturday. So look at that. We got
red.
some sauteing going on.
Red onion, and I think I'm just going to use half of it because, you know, you don't need so much with my amazing recipe.
I'll take the other part.
Okay. Oh, and whenever you're trying to get that off there.
And you know, if you have any rice cooked or anything like that, you're allowed to use anything you find.
Okay. Yeah, we don't have any rice cooked.
All right, I'll tell you what I would have done. I think it's probably too late for you to do it. I would have made a burger with the chickpeas and then grilled pineapple and put it on it.
Well, I'm not good
I mean,
like that. But
okay,
I'm getting
duh.
how I'm thinking though.
And I'm not sure about the kale, but kale and pineapple actually go surprisingly well together.
Yes, it does. And I'm also a pineapple on pizza kind of girl.
Yeah, pineapple.
Really? Some people will arrest you for that, you know.
Okay.
So I'm just sauteing my onions here.
I'm sauteing my onions also, and I'm doing a dry saute, so we're not using any oil. Although I did put my onions in a little bit too quickly. That's okay. I'm just going to get my fail-safe, my water, so that I don't.
Get some.
Oh, thank you. Oh, look at you.
Yeah.
So nice.
Yeah, I'm trying to get you to make the oat flour.
I'm not making it flour.
Oh.
Okay, so we're just gonna get this nice, and we're gonna get our onions nice and fragrant. My eyes watering, and I'm so thankful to Jim Loomis for giving me all those great teeny tiny little pieces of garlic. So I'm just gonna get some more. I like to get the cheater garlic.
I know what you mean. Obviously you got Trader Joe's near you. I recognize the garlic and the oats.
Yeah. Ooh, oh. Except that piece. That was nice. That's what I call furry food. That was growing fur.
All right. This I'm going to.
All right, nice and fragrant. We're getting there. We're getting there. I'm gonna just chop up a little bit of garlic. We're gonna hit the pan with that.
All right.
And just a real quick chop on that. Put that into our pan. Get that fragrant as well. I'm gonna grab. Excuse me. I'm gonna grab some salt and pepper.
Ooh.
I'm gonna add a pinch of salt. And you said that everything was already washed? Everything was already washed? Fabulous, thank you. Indeed, does save time. Yeah, I mean, this is gonna be awesome.
Can't go wrong with it. So Caryn, tell us a little bit about what you do at your center.
So, yeah, I was, in 2017, I was like, oh my, I've been doing this whole plant-based business since 2011. Adopted a plant-based diet in 2008 because I lost my dad to cancer, and then I was diagnosed just 10 weeks after he passed away. So in 2011, I started a little business called STL Veg Girl, where I teach people how to adopt a diet, a plant-based diet. We go around and visit hospitals, schools, grocery stores, community centers, go to people's homes, things like that. Just really spreading the word, spreading the education. And so then in 2017, I thought, there has to be a physical place for people to go when they're scared because they have a bad health outcome, or they want to support a family member or a friend. They want to learn more about a plant-based diet, or they just want to add more plants to their plate and they just really don't know how to do it. So I called a couple of friends who I know are kind of high up in the plant-based world who would know if this such thing exists. And they both said in 2 different phone conversations, they said, no, that doesn't exist. I said, okay, that's silly. We got to do it. So we had to invent the wheel. And I saved everything I had for 2 years. And in 2019, August 13th of 2019, we opened up, again, the nation's first plant-based culinary education, nutrition culinary education center, the Center for Plant-Based Living. And so we do classes here. Jim comes into town from PCRM often, and we do classes here together, both in-shop classes and virtual classes. We have a virtual membership, which is really fun. We do all kinds of things. But
we did a 6-week weight loss program.
Yeah.
That by Zoom. So it was a combination of the science behind weight and weight loss combined with the cooking demo, and that was highly successful. And it's been. I'm officially the medical director here, and Caryn's done an amazing job. I tell you, it's much needed. We need to open one of these in every city, right?
yes, I would love it.
Oh, that'd be fantastic.
All right, so I'm chopping up my jalapenos here. So what I'm making over here is a little pineapple salsa to go on top of the main course.
Show off.
So I'm going to let this steep and get a little bit of that cilantro that's in there.
So I've got I'm sauteing some kale along with my red onion and garlic. And then I'm going to add this to the food processor in just a second. I'm going to cook that down just a little bit more, just to get that water out of it. So what? To keep that out, I'm using it too.
Lemon in here. Salt.
How are you guys doing back there? We have an audience today. You guys
I know that is fantastic that you're doing it live and you're doing it live. Have you ever seen that fantastic tool that you put in a pineapple and it like cores it and cuts it at the same time?
I don't have that thing.
What's that?
That's
really
a gadget
cool.
that I don't have.
What's that?
It's really cool. I have one. You just kind of screw it in the pineapple. You
Oh,
still
it's
have to cut it off, but it cores it and it cuts it at the same time.
Okay, so I am going to put this into the food processor.
There's my salsa. We're going to let that marinate there.
And then I'm going to put the chickpeas in there. I don't think we could do, Jim and I, we work really, really well together. So we sometimes have the same idea for things. So I'm hoping this isn't too similar. And I'm putting the cumin in there. And then I'm going to add a few handfuls of oats. All right.
Different flavors, probably.
Yeah. All right. And then
Curry powder here.
I gotta plug it in.
Coriander.
I'm gonna add a little bit of smoked paprika to mine.
That's like my favorite spice, smoked paprika.
Love smoked paprika, the best. And you know, you always have to scrape down those sides with a food processor. And the food processor that I'm using is, it's a KitchenAid 11 cup, and I love this thing. It has a nice big wide blade to really take hold of all those ingredients. Now I'm going to add a little bit of water because it's a little dry.
All right.
And I'm also going to add just a hint more of salt. So I think these oats are going to soak up a lot of flavor. Yeah, just a pinch. Not too much.
All right.
Okay, so what I'm going to do here is, do you need this thing?
Yeah.
Okay, so I'm going to put this into the freezer. I'm going to transfer it to a bowl and put it into the freezer for just a few minutes so that it really sticks together. And that's really a secret to getting, one of the secrets to getting anything like a roast or a burger or meatballs, quote unquote, to stick together is to put it in the refrigerator.
It's the same stuff in there.
Oh,
But again, I think we're going to end up with something pretty similar.
so I'm just going to put it in the freezer just for time. And then what I'm going to do is grab a saucepan. Oh, you need the blade. Oh, here it is. So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to blend up the pineapple. Excuse.
Blend up the pineapple.
Yeah.
Interesting. All right. Let's see here.
And I'm going to do it just using the Vitamix. I'm just going to blend it. It's over there. I'm going to. Oh yeah, Jim. I don't know if that's going to be happening.
What?
You might have to take everything out.
Why?
Okay. I don't know. Pardon me. Okay. So plugging in.
I'm already challenged sometimes.
I'm just going to cut up half of it because I don't need the whole thing and I really want to eat this later on. So I'm just going to cut this into just some really easy, loose chunks.
Here.
I think that's probably it. All right, so let's blend this bad boy up. And I think I'm going to add, I'm going to add a little bit of sambal. I just say chili pepper because I don't know how to say the last word. This little garlic chili. to this to offset the beautiful sweetness. So we're just going to add a little bit of heat to that. All right, so take this off, get rid of this thing. Change course again and keep. Okay. So what I'm going to do here is reduce this. Let me get it nice and hot. And however much time we have, we'll just see what that looks like. But I'm going to get this reduced. There's going to be a lot of pulp in here, a lot of fiber. It's probably better as if I were to juice it, but I don't really have time for that. All right. Next, I'm going to get parchment paper and line a baking sheet. Oh, look at my competitor here. So nice.
On the same thing. That's crazy.
But you know what? When in doubt, mash it all together and create a burger or whatever, you know?
Chickpea fritters, I'm going to call mine.
Yes, you did. All right, so this is what we have. And that's already really sticking together pretty well. So that looks pretty good. All right.
You ever use the Silpat baking sheets?
I have not.
You know, I have, and I hate cleaning those things. I know that's the wrong thing to say. I know it.
Get somebody else to do it.
Get somebody else to do it.
That's why she brings me in town, right?
Yeah. Ooh, you know what? I forgot an ingredient. I'm gonna go back. We have I have a lot of pantry items in the back. I'll be right back.
All right, so I'm gonna patty these up. So you can see just a little small.
Beautiful.
Call this a chickpea fritter. It's got a little curry powder in it, cumin, a little coriander, a little oats to help bind it, a little lime juice in it. Turn out great. I'll have enough for everyone to have a whole one, but hopefully you guys can at least get a bite.
I want my dish to have a little bit more texture, so that's why I'm adding panko breadcrumbs.
The chef yesterday used those when she was making her meatloaf.
Oh yeah, I
Yeah,
did
we saw
see.
part of
We
that,
saw
didn't
part
we?
of that. Yeah.
All right.
I still want to get my hands on some of his sauces and what does he have? He has the sauces.
Yeah, sauces and spices. Well,
And
your
spice-
world.
Yeah, that wasn't coming out.
All right. So you can see there, getting ready to go into the oven.
Nice.
So I'm making
Do you have a preference, high or low?
it doesn't matter. I'm making little meatballs.
Nice.
Yeah. I'm making meatballs,
Meatless balls.
meatless balls.
All right. So I've got my salsa ready. So just take your time. Let those cook. We think
Yeah.
about 10, 15 minutes for those.
Yeah, I think mine might take just a little bit longer, but if, you know, the
Yep.
nice thing about it, even if you undercook this, because there's no egg and there's no
Right.
no animal
Right.
products.
It's not like you're going to get food poisoning.
Right. So really what we're doing is not so much cooking, but warming.
Yeah, no, that's true.
Yeah. But I am going to make all of these because We have guests.
Yeah. So, it's interesting,
Right,
and,
right. I'm going to feed you. He may not.
yeah, well, you're going to get a little bite. I see. But, one thing that got me interested in cooking as well is that, if you look at the research around physicians, and how they talk to patients. So first of all, only about 14% of physicians in the United States feel qualified to even talk about nutrition. We don't get that kind of education, and the nutrition education we got is really glorified biochemistry, really. And there's also research when physicians have healthy habits, when they know how to cook, when they eat healthy, when they exercise, then they talk to their patients about it. And when they don't talk to their patients about it. So I think teaching physicians, this whole idea about culinary medicine, right? Teaching physicians and med students the importance of learning simple, basic, healthy cooking techniques so that they can discuss that with patients is incredibly important, as we really try to transform this kind of train wreck of what we call healthcare today, which is obviously not healthcare, it's sick care.
We were doing this market this morning, and Jim was we were talking about fat and how that really is the impetus. Extra fat is the impetus to type 2 diabetes,
right?
Type 2 diabetes. And, after he spoke, I said, have you ever run into somebody who suffered from or was dealing with type 2 diabetes? And all of a sudden, oh my gosh, it reversed because they had just the right amount of insulin.
Right.
No, insulin just helps you manage it. It does not help you reverse the disease.
That's right. That's exactly right.
So then that was kind of like something that, I thought about years ago, and I thought, that's really it. It has to be the food, right?
Oh, that's right.
Insulin and medications, any metformin, any of those are not going to reverse.
No, that's right. I mean, type 2 diabetes is not a metformin deficiency,
right?
But that's how we're taught in med school, right? And when 66% of the U.S. population either has pre-diabetes or diabetes, type 2 diabetes, which are both insulin-resistant states, we've normalized it. And I mean, frankly, my own personal health, I used to have pre-diabetes 10 years ago. I thought eating healthy was low-fat dairy and lean meat and fruits and vegetables, whole grains, and not too much ice cream, right?
Yeah.
And part of the disconnect was Monday the nurses bring cookies in the office, and Tuesday there's a donut in the doctor's lounge, and Wednesday I go out for a cheeseburger, and Thursday at someone's birthday party I have a little cake and ice cream. Friday rolls around, I'm patting myself on the back about how healthy I ate this week, right? Because I only had cookies once. Yeah. And discovered I literally couldn't outrun after knee injury, didn't do the rehab, gained a ton of weight. Next thing I know, I became a patient, and no one ever had a conversation about diet with me. And next thing I know, I'm taking pills for my cholesterol, and I've got sleep apnea, and on and on. And after seeing Forks Over Knives 10 years ago, last month actually was my anniversary, I thought, wow, let me give that a shot, and did. And within 4 or 5 months, dropped my cholesterol 100 points, got off all my meds, lost 40 pounds, on and on and on. The rest is history, as they say. Because once you understand the power of lifestyle and food, you can't unknow that, right? Mm-hmm. And so I've been on a mission since.
That is fantastic. Go ahead. Sorry about that.
You've helped me help a lot of people, and you've helped a lot of people at the Barnard Medical Center. Yeah,
that's really been working with Neil up in DC has been really fantastic. And actually, if anything good has come out of this pandemic, it's that it's allowed us to expand our telehealth visit presence, because frankly, when we're doing lifestyle medicine counseling on, helping patients de-prescribe medication, we can do that, over a telehealth call. Mm-hmm. And in fact, we've taken this opportunity. We now have clinicians licensed in about 30 states. So we're offering telehealth consultations all over the country now. We've got plant-based dietitians on staff. And as many of you may know, PCRM is actually not for profit. So we take all insurances, we take Medicaid, we take Medicare, on and on and on. So it's really been rewarding to help patients, in fact, treat, prevent, and reverse many chronic diseases, including type 2 diabetes.
Yeah.
Dr. Loomis, can people still see you in person if they live in Washington, D.C., and virtually, do they also have to live in Washington, D.C.?
So the law, it's interesting. So the licensing laws, and hopefully these are going to change. To do telehealth, I have to be licensed in the state wherever I sit and where the patient sits. So for example, I still have a Missouri license, so I can see patients in Missouri, whether I'm here in St. Louis or if I'm in DC. If you live in Missouri and you travel to St. Louis, you travel to DC, even though if I was, say you live in Illinois where I'm not licensed, and you come to DC, I can see you in the office because in person, we're both sitting in a place where I'm licensed, right? So that's how that works. I'm hoping that changes because it does put, right now it means we have to get licensed in every single state that we want to practice in, which is quite a painful process. And I just got my Florida license, and that took a long time. But I can be telehealth by my sister's pool down in Naples
Right.
this winter.
Yeah.
So.
Okay, so I'm making a salad dressing, and I have our pineapple. This is tahini. I put in some coconut aminos. And I was just using the microplane to shave or grate some ginger. And there's maple. Did I say there's maple syrup on there? There's maple syrup.
Yeah.
So I'm going to add a little bit of water.
So one of the greatest tricks that I've ever learned from Caryn is about ginger. Because I used to buy big things of ginger, and I could never figure out how to keep it from going bad. And Caryn said, well, just put it in the freezer. You don't even have to peel it. You can just take it out, frozen ginger, grate it, put it back in the freezer.
Yeah.
Who knew, right?
The skin is so thin
that
if you're cooking it, it'll just cook right down.
Yeah.
And if you're using a microplane, it's just going to grate away anyway. So you really, it doesn't taste like anything. So I never even peel ginger. And now if you do want to peel ginger, just use any old spoon and simply, let's do this. Simply just give it just a little bit of work there, and it comes right off.
But the frozen ginger trick, now I don't have to throw out ginger every few weeks because it's going bad, right?
Yeah. Okay, so this is going to be a little. Might need a little heat, but. It's sweet.
Yeah, well, that's pineapple and maple syrup.
Right. So I'm going to take this lime. And so I think I needed some citrus in there just to cut that a little bit.
It's interesting too about med students. So I'm on go ahead. So I'm on the faculty at George Washington University Medical School in DC, and also the Uniformed Services University of Health Sciences, which is the military med school in Bethesda. And there's been great interest in plant-based eating and lifestyle medicine in both of those institutions. I give lectures to military residents, physicians, and even the staff. And we also have students that rotate through Barnard Medical Center, BNC. And they come through for a year. They come about 25 times and spend the day. And I can tell you that about 90% of the students who have come through the clinic end up going plant-based. Because, the 10th time you see someone reverse their diabetes or lose 30, 40 pounds and get off their blood pressure medicine, they're like, maybe there's something to this whole plant-based thing, right? So it's really great to play a role in that. There needs to be more early on in med school, but we're working on that. It's a process.
That's so cool that just through the rotation, they become plant-based.
Well, the results speak for themselves, right? I mean, you can't argue if someone, comes in and their diabetes is out of control and they're on 3 meds, and 3 months later they come back and they're off all their meds and they don't have diabetes anymore. And then you see that 10 times over the course of their rotation. Again, that's the proof is in the pudding, as they say. Tofu pudding, but you can't argue with the results, and the science is there to back it up too. It is what we do is evidence based.
Right. I mean, when somebody reverses their type 2 diabetes because of something they ate and they didn't eat, I mean,
right?
How are you going to?
Right. No, how are you going to argue with it?
Okay, it's just so sad that the prevailing belief in diabetes, though, is that it's sugar when we know it's fat.
Right. Well, I use this analogy this morning. When I talk to patients about it, I talk about the kitchen sink, right? So, you walk in your kitchen in the morning and the drain's clogged and you left the water out. and the water's overflowed onto the floor. How do you fix that? You get out a mop, and one mop's not strong enough. You get a second mop, maybe your third mop. You get all the water up. You put your mops away. Well, guess what? You got to get your mops back out, in the afternoon and the next morning because you haven't fixed the problem, right? Well, that's exactly how most doctors, including myself, are taught to treat type 2 diabetes. So get out our metformin mop, and then we add a Januvia mop. We might add an insulin mop. We mop up all the sugar, but then we have to get them back out the next day because we haven't fixed the fundamental problem, which is the drain's clogged and the water's running. So what's clogging the drain? It's actually fat in the muscle and liver cells, which creates insulin resistance. And the water is the sugar and processed grains, processed flour that is driving the need for insulin. And that's exactly why a whole food plant-based diet plus exercise is such a powerful tool in the prevention, treatment, and reversal of type 2 diabetes. And the analogy I use for, pre-diabetes is the drains clogged, the water's on, the sink's filling up, it just hasn't flowed over yet. But if you don't fix the problem, that's where you're headed. And again, many patients have never been presented with diabetes as a foodborne illness. In fact, type 2 diabetes is a normal physiologic response to an abnormal behavior, right? So, we evolved to not starve to death. And when we have an overabundance of calories, we're trying desperately to store that energy for future use. But the system gets overwhelmed and we start putting energy where it's not supposed to be. And that's what causes the pathology, if you will, of type 2 diabetes. But it's not a chronic disease. It really is a foodborne illness in response to behaviors that we are not designed to, a lifestyle we're not designed to lead as human beings.
Yeah, it's amazing.
Yeah, your turn.
Okay. I've added just a little bit of mustard to this, just yellow mustard. I just kind of had an inkling. All right. So I'm going to take a quick taste of that. And then you saw me cut up the rest of my kale. That's it. That's it. That's balanced. Okay. Now, AJ, I know this, and I know you know this, and I know a lot of your audience knows this, and this is not new news, but hopefully we'll get one person who's like, oh, that's how you do it. So when people say, just tossing it around, right? What you want to do is cut your kale up, take your dressing, or as much as you think maybe you want to put on there, and with your hands, really get in there. It's like a Swedish massage. Really get in there. I get up on my tippy toes and really infuse the dressing into each and every little sliver of every single kale leaf. And it becomes very tender and very easy to eat that way. So you're breaking down all of those fibers, and it's not woody, it's not bitter anymore. It's very, very, very tasty. And that the dressing just really is forced into those leaves, just really it becomes very soft. All the leaves become very soft and very edible. And it also becomes feels heavy because it's got all that dressing, pardon me, in the leaves. And then, of course, you add whatever else you want to. And just for time today, I'm just adding a little bit of celery for crunch. And then we will serve that up. And how long has everything been in the oven? Do you know? Okay.
Uh-oh.
15 minutes. Probably time to check it.
Maybe. Hey, do you ever think of putting it in the air fryer, make it go quicker?
It would have. I was thinking about that.
We could have done that.
Yes.
Yeah.
You could do this in 5-10 minutes.
We have this. We just preheated both ovens to 350. I think that if we bump it up to about 400, even just hit it with the convection, that would help also. So that's what I am going to do.
So I think 5 more minutes probably be adequate.
You think? Okay. Well, I just put mine on convection because mine are a little more dense.
Yeah.
Yours are flatter.
Yeah.
So then this is a little something here that we'll talk about in a minute. Yeah, I don't know, before the broadcast, I don't know if we did this or not, but I want everybody to see the audience that we have here. Woohoo! Hey, everybody.
Wow, that's amazing. And they're wearing their t-shirts.
They are.
10-year anniversary t-shirt.
10-year anniversary of STL Veg Girl. Mm-hmm.
That's beautiful art on the wall, by the way.
Oh,
Those two
thank
big
you.
paintings.
Yeah, one of my girlfriend's local painter, and she gifted those to me on the day that we opened 2 years ago. So that was super nice. All right, so what do we do? Can we just do this because
What?
Yeah.
Do what?
Your
So-
audience gets to taste it, don't they? This is for
They do. Oh yeah. So let's get out. Let's get some pork.
It's here.
Okay.
Yeah, yeah.
Well, but yours has a salsa.
Yeah.
So do we want 2 separate plates for everybody?
Yeah. We don't want to mix the flavors, right? You don't want my good tasting chickpeas to get confused, right?
Uh-huh. Okay. All right. So what I'm gonna do first is I'm gonna give everybody a little salad. Yes. So they can taste. Now I've used one of the ingredients. No, I've used 2 of the ingredients twice now. So I have 2.
So you get extra credit.
I see. You're playing to the.
How many? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8.
Just clear the spot here.
We've got 8 people here. Like, this is a big deal. Like, they could be out and about on Saturday night. But instead they're here.
They had the good sense to come to the Iron Chef competition.
That's right.
Right.
These are just little, yeah, thanks.
Just clear the spot to put that.
Thank you. All right, so 1, 2, 3, 4. And we'll what everyone thinks. Although that makes me a little nervous, but yeah. Just a little taste. That's 2. 2 more?
Oh, you're good.
Oh, okay. Okay, so that's the salad. And then, okay, Jim's gonna check his. Are they nice and firm? No, they're good. Okay, okay.
But they're good. A few more minutes. I mean, they're still.
Yeah, okay, well then I'm gonna see how mine are doing.
Yep.
So we get on convection for a few minutes now. Oh, that just means that I'm done.
You guys have names? Do you guys have names for your dishes?
Fallen with chickpeas.
I don't have a fancy name. I'm just gonna call this a chickpea fritter with pineapple salsa.
I'm gonna go with fallen with chickpeas. All right. Okay, so I think let's see, we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Okay, so everybody's just gonna get 1.
Jimmy's Fritters?
So these are just they're little meatballs. And then what we're gonna do here, I'm gonna put this back on and just let that get nice and hot. I'm gonna plate everything up.
It really didn't take as long as I thought to cook those things.
So this
No,
is
right.
I'm using half a fritter just so they'll go around and topped with my little salsa there.
Okay, so we want to do that. Oops. Ball down, ball down.
Uh-oh. 3-second rule.
I need Bailey here. Okay, the sauce is nice and warm. And I'm just gonna take a spoon. And give it a nice swirl. That didn't really work, but you know what I'm saying? Nice little swirl.
Fancy.
Oh, I know.
You're really fancy.
Yeah. Swirl.
Pleating is not my
Swirl.
strong suit.
Swirl. Right, so we have 1, 2, 3,
How about the
4,
flake?
5, 6, 7, 8. I know that hey Hadley, can you get a picture?
Proof of the pudding is in the eating, though,
That's the truth. That's the truth.
even if it's beautiful.
I know. You're right. You're right. So I've swirled everything, and then we're adding this little meatball. I would probably put, if we had more time, and I was thinking I would have put maybe some cilantro on here as well.
For cilantro, right?
Oh, that's okay. That's all right. So
More of these do we need?
right, I'll turn the camera around.
Okay. Because
We have plenty. Well, no, I already haven't played it up.
yeah, I'm just worried about salsa. I should get that.
More? You need some milk?
No, I'm good.
Oh,
I'm
oh,
good. I'm
okay.
good.
All
I
right.
just got one more to go. All right.
Oh, okay. All right.
All right, we'll give our
That's
audience a
you
minute to
taste it too to make sure it's delicious.
All right. So they're eating.
Would any of them like to comment?
Yeah. Do you guys want to chat about that for a second?
Salad dressing is amazing.
Salad dressing's amazing. Okay,
Agreed.
so
One for Caryn. Amazing.
Somebody's saying you should call it saucy eyeball meatballs.
saucy what?
Eyeball meatballs.
Oh, eyeball meatballs. Yeah, that's cute. That's cute.
The pineapple salsa is really good.
Yeah, they like Jim's
for Jim.
pineapple salsa. You can't lose with that combination. That's so delicious.
It is.
Yeah.
It is really good.
Okay, so
And you can make that same salsa with peaches. You can make it with mango. It's
sorry,
very
it's so
versatile.
shaky.
And so it's just
That's such a great idea. Any fruit they have, papaya, it would work.
exactly. And it's just red onion, cilantro, jalapeno, fruit, a little lime juice. I put a little cumin, touch of salt, and topped with cilantro.
That's tasty. Yours is really good.
Yeah.
Yeah, really good.
So Caryn, your ball would be really good in the salad with your topping on top of it. Like a falafel. And
Oh,
those
so they're
are-
saying mine would be better as a falafel.
Like, you know,
Oh no, that's just an idea. It's
Falafel balls.
Good idea.
Yeah.
The
But
sauce is really good.
You like that sauce?
Really good.
Okay, cool. Well,
Drink more. I'm gonna taste the sauce.
the sauce is in that can, or that sauce can.
I'll have to get some of it.
Yeah, I think that we have some really happy eaters.
And this is great because all week, all we had the chefs taste theirs. And what's a chef going to say when they taste their food? This is disgusting? Of course not. So we have real people tasting it.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm seeing a couple of just already empty plates. So
That
that's
is amazing. Now, where was the kale? Because I did the kale go in the balls?
Yeah.
Yes.
yeah, we both put them in
Kale.
what we cooked.
So I just chopped it and added it to the mix. She cooked hers first. I just added mine raw. So the chickpea fritters were chickpeas, oats, cumin, curry powder, kale, onion, garlic. I may have said that. And that's really it. I put a little lime juice in it.
Yeah.
And
Yeah, those fritters are really good. They're really, they're tastier than mine.
oh, there we have it.
There wasn't enough for you guys to get a plate, though.
Well, no, I did taste.
I have an extra one back
Yeah,
here. We
I
can
tasted
snack.
it.
It's amazing how quickly you did it.
Whew,
Yeah.
quick thinking.
You guys are so talented. Boy, if you're half as good a doctor as you are a chef, you're going to be amazing.
Yeah. So like I said, I just like to make things pretty simple. And I like bold flavors. I like, the curry powders and chili powders and spice. And
Kind of
heat.
that Indian.
Yeah. So I do a lot of, that, again, the first thing that came to mind when I saw that pineapple was a pineapple salsa.
Uh-huh.
And then I worked backwards to what can I serve that on?
Right. Yeah.
So the other thing I really thought about making, but it would be a risk. I was going to make chickpea kale empanadas with a oil-free dough. But that takes.
That's a full class.
Yeah, and the problem is if you get the dough wrong, then you're done. But it uses white beans.
In the dough.
And coconut milk. So that's what there's a little bit of fat in the coconut milk.
Yeah.
You use white beans. To make
That sounds
the dough.
good. Maybe
So that
do
was-
for class.
Yeah, and then serve that with it. But so I do that sometimes. I'll do like a curry, chickpea, kale, sweet potato, right?
Yeah. And
Empanada.
I'll tell you, I mean, really, like I've been thinking about this, AJ, and truly, it's like if you're not quite sure what to do with some ingredients, make a burger out of it, or little sliders or whatever, because there's so many things that are binders, right? Oats are binders, potatoes are binders, beans are binders, and then just flavor it up with any spices you have, and make some kind of salsa or sauce or something to set it on top of or pour it over, just to give more of that mouthfeel and kind of balance it out. But burgers for everybody, burgers for days, baby.
I know.
Yeah.
When in doubt, just throw it in the air fryer if you don't know what to do with it.
That's right.
We have a very nice comment. Karen says, Dr. Loomis is an unsung whole food plant-based doctor. Well, we're going to sing his praises. He's going to have his own episode. He's going to tell his story. So we'll make sure he gets sung.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you.
We'll make sure. You guys were grace under pressure. You didn't cave. You guys really did. You didn't get nervous. You just did great.
It's just what we
We
do.
cook really well together. I mean, we work really well together, and we just had somebody say, we really think it's a tie. I mean, I know
Yeah.
that's.
Well, next time we'll have you guys cook together. Maybe we can have, that's actually, you guys could be a team and we could do teams,
Yeah. So we do.
We've been cooking together for years, probably since 2015,
Yeah.
16.
Yeah. And so, we kind of anticipate, it's pretty interesting. It gets to be almost like a ballet in the kitchen or making a complex like dinner party or something.
Yeah. So it works.
That is good. This was so much fun. I'll bring myself back on screen. I may as well. Why not? And guys, thank you so much. This was so great. I love doctors that cook,
Yeah. Well, thank you. Thank you.
Do any of the other doctors at the Barnard Medical Center do any cooking?
Yeah. In fact, Dr. Vanita Raman just published a cookbook, actually.
She'll be coming on the show talking about that. Hopefully she'll make a recipe. I bet you Dr. Barnard doesn't do too much cooking though.
No, he does not. Not that I know of. I don't know what he does.
He's too busy raising money.
Yeah, and running and doing wonderful things with PCR.
And writing books.
Beyond-
Hey, when can we expect a book from you, Dr. Loomis? Either a cookbook or a book?
Well, I'll talk about it on the show. I've got a book in mind, and I've actually, Karen's seen parts of it. I've written maybe 50 pages. I just got to dedicate the time to do it. So, it's a little bit different kind of book. It's not a cookbook. It's about this idea that, our nutritional needs were set by our biologic evolution, and it's our cultural evolution, which has kind of derailed that. And lack of medical education on and on, nutrition reductionism, industrial food. But I weave that because if we don't understand what's going on in our culture, we're not going to ever be able to make meaningful change, right, as a society. But weaving those pieces into my own personal story, about what I learned in med school, what I thought was healthy, what I was taught, what happened to me when I ate those foods that I thought were healthy, and then what happened to me when I switched to a plant-based diet. Wow. So that's the idea. And then some about, there's some stuff in there. When I turned 60 a couple of years ago, I wanted to do something epic. And I actually trained for and completed a Lake Placid Ironman 2 weeks after my birthday. And so the part of it is about, and I'm in the documentary, The Game Changer. So part of it is also about the role plant-based nutrition plays in performance in the last part of the book. So yeah,
Do you have a title? Do you have a title for your book yet?
I do not.
I got one. I have one. How about this?
Okay.
Everything I learned about nutrition, I didn't learn in medical school.
Yeah, no, I like that. No, I mean, that's exactly right.
It's pretty
That's
you can use it. I used to be an advertising copywriter. I love coming up with titles. So anyway, that is great. Well, I can't wait when you come back on the show. That'll be so amazing. Guys, thank you so much. You did a great job with these ingredients that are familiar. People can find them. They may even have them in their pantry right now. So go make a fritter, go make a burger, and eat plants on every plate.
Yes. Thank you, AJ.
Oh my God. Thank you guys so much. It was such a delight. And thanks all of you for watching another episode of Chef AJ Live. Please come back tomorrow when my guest is lifestyle medicine doctor, Dr. Cheryl True. Thanks a lot, live viewing audience from St. Louis. We are so happy to have you there. Bye-bye. Yay.